Well, Travis County authorities thought that they were pulling somebody over for speeding, but it was something they weren't expecting at all.
No, a mother going into labor on the side of 620. KVUE's Nicole Rosales spoke to the deputies about their experience. Boy, they showed up at just the right time, Nicole.
Just enough time there. Now, constables and deputies, they're trained in a lot of different areas, and the closest to delivering a baby is first aid. So you can imagine how intense the situation must have been. And although the mother was able to make it to the hospital in time, law enforcement say the moments leading up to it were pretty crucial. Senior Sergeant Edward Garden tells me he was on traffic patrol on North FM 620 and Boulder Lane when he saw a car zoom past him at 79 miles per hour in a 55. So naturally, he pulls them over. He says as he approached the car, the door swung open and was followed by screams from the driver. The passenger, who they believed was the father, yelled out that she was in labor, and that's when Sergeant Garden called for backup. They moved the mother to the back of the SUV and began prepping her for delivery. And you just saw a photo there of someone snapped just nearby saying, quote, an example of good police work in our city. I showed that same photo to Sergeant Garden, and here's what he had to say.
To be looked at in a positive light is kind of exhilarating. You know, it makes you want to, put a smile on your face. But for us, we don't. I know personally, I don't think of it like that. I just doing my job.
He goes on to say that EMS did make it in on time, taking over the rest just those few minutes longer. He just said it just felt such a long time for them to get there, so it's pretty interesting.
It's amazing how many of those little rescues we hear throughout the year, and mom and baby are doing well, we understand. So
yes, and what was really cool about that was they had an RN deputy that was there. We had previous experience, so they were going to be on standby, like walking them through the process if they needed to.
Okay, message there, let the father drive.
Yeah, I want to hear the story about why the father wasn't driving. Maybe there was a very good reason, but to have the pregnant mother drive while he's the passenger.
She would go faster, I guess.